Juvan, the clear odds-on favourite to win this first ever encounter between the pair. But I'm not so sure she will have everything her own way. It is all about how Brace settles into this. Inevitably, she'll be feeling a lot of nerves right now. But she needs to embrace the challenge and embrace the occasion and also make the most of this opportunity. Brace won the spin and elected to serve, by the way, so an early chance to see or take a closer look at this service motion that served her so well in qualifying and in Vancouver recently. A name to watch out for. Let's see how she fares on her full tour debut. One more match to follow this one, by the way. On court 8, Jasmine Paolini, the number 3 seed, against Himeno Sakatsumi. Well, she enjoyed that one, and little wonder as well. Not really displaying too many signs of nerves in the early stages. There's just a little illustration from Juvan about exactly what she can do. I'm sure Brace will be well aware of Juvan's capabilities, may have even taken the opportunity to just watch a few of her recent highlights, and there have been a few as well from the world number 70. In particular, a run to the third round at Wimbledon, her joint best Grand Slam result. Well, I have to say, Brace was very impressive in the way she handled herself there. That was a difficult situation. Really putting in the hard yards in the course of this rally on the defensive in the main. Managed to get herself into a good position, but in the end, just seemed to run out of steam. Forehand winner from Juvan, levelling things up at 30-all. That was harsh on Brace. And there, just another illustration. Juvan with a touch of class with the drop shot to set up the first break point. Well, that's a good turnaround by Brace. Faced a break point at one stage, but weathered that particular storm and came through and held her nerve, and that will settle her down immensely. Good start by the 17-year-old on her full tour debut. So Juvan on serve, add love one. It is in many ways a very significant outing for Juvan as well, working with her new coach after her split with Filip de Hees. Her new coach is Zoran Krajnc, a former Slovenian player. Comfortable, trying to make the pass down the line. It was really the only way that she could go, but Juvan covering that one comfortably at the net. Well, Juvan wasting little time in getting back on track. Just the 1 point conceded on serve as she levels up the early stages of this opening set at 1 game all. But just going back to the fact that she has this new coach, the two of them will be trying to examine and identify areas where Juvan can particularly make improvements. No doubt Zoran Krajnc will have come in with a fairly blank sheet of paper in terms of what needs to be done, and by the same token will have come in with a fairly good idea of where her strengths and weaknesses lie. And that said, it may be difficult to read too much into a performance against a rookie in the shape of Cadence Brace. And this is an altogether different sort of examination for Brace as well. She started off her opening service game fairly solidly, but she's chasing her tail in this one. And now the ball came over, stray ball. Was it enough of a distraction, enough of a hindrance? I think the ball had already been played by Brace. It was wide, and Juvan has 3 break points. Squandered one in the opening game as well. Yeah, we had the stray ball from next door, but it came over just after Brace had played her wayward shot anyway. Yeah, not really a decisive drop shot that from Brace. It was a little bit in between two ideas that may have been running through her mind at that stage. In the end, it was a very presentable opportunity for Juvan, who had the simple task of putting it away. Cadence Brace maybe just a little bit indecisive with that one, but Juvan with the early break leads by 2-1. Well, I have to say, Juvan looks incredibly relaxed. She's not stopped smiling since she arrived on court. She seems to be in a very good place right now. Either that, should maybe there's a mini fit of the giggles going on about something, but looks to be very relaxed, looks to be in a good frame of mind, and looks to be enjoying herself out there. And here she is serving with the break at 2-1. Well, she seemed to have so much time to play that forehand as well. Really dragging Brace out of position extensively. And just seemed to have so much time to play that forehand. Didn't need to rifle through it either. Yeah, forced into that one by the fact that she was on the run. Brace is really putting in the hard yards already. She's covered so much court as she tries to just stay afloat in these extended rallies when they come along. Juvan is almost toying with her at times. And again, the serve out wide really doing the damage. Brace out of position. And once again, she had to scamper all the way over to the near sideline to keep that rally alive. Juvan finding the lines at will. And eventually the wide open space is materialised once again. And you just fear that this might become a very, or could easily become a fairly one-sided contest. Well, I think I would ignore the scoreboard for now. It's not ticked over after that hold of serve for Juvan. It is 3-1 in favour of the Slovenian. Well played. Good response this from Brace. She will take, or she will extract so much comfort from every game that she manages to put on the scoreboard today. Very loose, very wild first serve, way beyond that service line. And this is where she just needs to maybe just control the aggression a little bit. She doesn't need to perhaps try too hard, if you know what I mean. She needs to relax a little bit when she's in these key points, when she's serving, for example, at 40-15. You can almost see her maybe just getting ahead of herself a little bit, which is almost inevitable, really, given her youth and exuberance. Well, that's really well played. That was a really well managed situation by Cadence Brace. Did enough to keep herself going. Juvan looked to be in position to secure the point, but Brace did well to make the necessary responses, and still in touch, still trailing by a break at 2-3. Well, Juvan back on court well ahead of time being called, clearly wants to get on with things and try and reassert some more authority in this first set. Just the one break-up, she'll be satisfied with how things have started. Likewise Brace, though, I think she'll take a lot of encouragement from the fact that she has picked off a couple of early games in this one. And she looks to have settled nicely, clearly working the harder of the two. But more than doing enough to suggest that she might cause Juvan one or two problems over the course of the next hour or two. Well, real spring in the step for Cadence Brace here as well. Love 30. Well, mistakes like that, if you are going to make mistakes like that, that would be a good time to do so at love 30 on your opponent's serve. You still have that margin for error. However, Juvan quickly back on track with a smooth as silk forehand. Yeah, never really got hold of that backhand. May have just lost her grip or lost her rhythm with the timing, but either way, Brace has the break point. Her first break point chance as well. She had to work so hard for that, didn't she? And in the end, she fell just short. Breakpoint saved by Juvan. That's the first real scare that she's had, but there may be more to come, you feel. Wonderful play, great positioning by Brace. Just using that little touch of footwork to get herself into position on that forehand. Knew exactly where she wanted to go and knew exactly how to go about it as well. That's a really mature shot from Cadence Brace. Really intelligent stuff as well. Breakpoint number 2. And it's long from Juvan on the backhand, and Brace hits back. And we are level in this first set. 1 break apiece, 3 games all. And very little between them now. 2 players separated by 576 places in the WTA rankings. 3 games all. Well, it was going in the right direction, wasn't it? Just couldn't quite clear the higher portion of the net. Striking the ball with a lot of confidence now, though, Brace, and she's finding the right positions on a more consistent basis as well. Juvan, excellent response with the almost sliced drop shot approach down the line. May just be able to have heard in the background that Daria Kasatkina, the #1 seed, has come through 6-7, 6-4, 6-2 though against Griet Minen of Belgium. Bit of a workout that for Kasatkina, the number 10 seed, 2 hours 58. And a bit of a workout here for the number 7 seed as well, Kaja Juvan, because Brace has opened up a 40-15 cushion on serve. Wild on the backhand again from Juvan. It's let her down on 2 or 3 significant occasions now. And, well, a potential story in the making, because Brace has reeled off 3 games without reply in this first set. She trailed 3-1. But it's the 17-year-old from Ontario who leads by 4 games to 3. Well, all of a sudden, Kaja Juvan has work to do. 3-4 on the number 7 seed serve. And she'll have to tread carefully in this one as well. Well, there is clearly no such thing as a lost cause as far as Brace's repertoire is concerned. She is chasing down pretty much everything that comes her way. She is not giving up on anything, and she's certainly not making life easy for Juvan. There is no charity on offer here for the Slovenian. Great return and a great follow-up on the forehand as well. That is impressive stuff. Great positioning and strong on the technique as well from Brace. It's very encouraging to watch so far. just long again. She's just straying a fraction beyond that baseline at times. She's trying to be aggressive, which is a good thing, but it's all about finding that balance. And Juvan back on terms at 4 games all. Business end of the first set. This will be another test of Brace's character and her credentials. And she has every right to celebrate every point that comes her way in the way that she is. It can be, I suppose, a very effective psychological crutch. And she does it again just to keep herself ticking over. These vocal reminders that she is in contention, she is in the frame. And I have to say, a hold of serve to love would do her the world of good as well in terms of her confidence. That's a terrific serve. Juvan couldn't really get herself into position in time to address that one. And worth noting that in each of her last 2 service games, she's dropped just 1 point. Brace leads 5-4. Well, despite the fact that we have more extensive cloud cover today and we are approaching 5:30 in the afternoon, the umbrellas are being made available to the players at the changeover. The breeze has picked up ever so slightly as well over the last couple of hours in Granby. Nothing too detrimental for the players. And as far as Juvan is concerned, hopefully nothing too detrimental as far as this service game goes as well. Serving to stay in the set, 4-5. Brace has the platform. She'll be breaking this down into bite-sized chunks, I suspect. 3 points away from the set now. Yeah, there we see just getting a little bit carried away, really stepping into that backhand on the return. May have addressed that a little bit too high. She could have maybe allowed that one to come down a little bit more, just a fraction, but these are the learning curves, I suspect. Well, that's really, again, intelligent play by Brace. She got herself on top from the word go in that second serve, or with that second serve. And even though Juvan did claw her way back into a better position, Brace knew that she still had enough about her game plan there to see that one through. Great serve out wide. Great weapon to be able to produce at such a critical juncture of the opening set as well. Nicely done again, finding those corners with good effect, isn't she? 17-year-old seems to have a really good awareness of Juvan's positioning and also the areas that she can try and exploit as the rally develops and materializes. And again, that serve out wide, that touch of slice out wide into the deuce court. Brace just having a look at the line there, whether there was a full-on query with Anna Carvalho, I'm not totally sure. It did look good to me initially anyway. And Juvan survives. Well, Brace was 2 points away there from the opening set. Couldn't find a way through. She's still got plenty of work to do. 5 games all now. On we go. And as I say, since that break to love in game 3, she's only given away 4 points on serve since then over the course of 3 service games. And if she can maintain that sort of standard on serve, she'll be tough to break down. never really got going with that backhand either. The backhand has been a fairly constant source of concern for Juvan, certainly over the last 3 or 4 games of this first set. Yeah, just finding the line. What an excellent forehand that was. The cry from Brace, signalling another eye-catching winner and another real feel-good factor moment for Cadence Brace, who edges back in front once again in this intriguing first set. She leads by 6 games to 5. Well, on serve, you can't really fault Brace of late. Just 1 point conceded in each of her last 3 service games. She's keeping it really tight and she's not giving Juvan too many opportunities. Whereas, on the other hand, on the Juvan serve, Brace has made a couple of inroads over the past couple of games following the break of serve. And you have to say, she is looking the more likely to find a way through. She's got one more opportunity here. Otherwise, we're into the tiebreak. Yeah, really stepping in on this second serve, isn't she, as well? Great attacking intent from the word go, coming in on the second serve, making the move forward. And then punching the ball deep into the corner as well to get herself into position, get herself on top in the rally. Love 30, 2 points away once again. Found herself love 30 to the good in the previous Juvan service game. Oh, there was a chance. I will correct myself. She found herself 2 points away from the opening set in the previous Juvan service game at 30-all. She finds herself level at 30-all once again. She's in a very similar position to the one she faced before. But again, she had an opportunity there on the run down the line. And this time, Brace brings up a set point. Just wide, little query from Juvan, but I think she feared the worst as soon as it left the racket. And once again, she has to rely on that second serve as well, and Brace's eyes will be lighting up at this moment. Great resistance once again, terrific defensive qualities coming to the fore. A real street fighting performance by Cadence Brace, who overturns a 3-1 deficit and takes the opening set by 7 games to 5. A real upset on the cards on court 8 in Granby, as the 17-year-old qualifier takes the opener against the number 7 seed Kaja Juvan. "46 minutes required for Brace to take the opening set and to bring with it the suggestion that we could well see the biggest upset of the tournament so far in Granby. Just to remind you, 576 places separating these two in the Hologic WTA rankings right now. You wouldn't know it on the evidence of what we've seen so far. Brace serving at the start of the second set. The inevitable question will be whether she can maintain this intensity, whether she can keep it going, or whether Juvan will summon up the talent that she has at her disposal to turn this one around. The demeanour of Juvan has changed significantly, I have to say. She was in a good place in the early stages, smiles on face. Maybe just beginning to channel a bit of that frustration into her activity on the court as well. She puts away the volley for the winner for a love 30 scoreline on the Brace serve. Well, she saved a break point in the very first game of the match to hold serve. This time she has to save 2. forehand this time, and Juvan wasting little time in getting that early break of serve on the scoreboard. Brace just brought back down to earth ever so slightly after that first set, a first set that yielded those statistics. Juvan with the greater percentage of accuracy on the first serve, but not really doing as much behind that first serve as Brace was on hers percentage-wise. But look at the difference being that conversion rate behind the second serve. That was really telling in the end. Brace really did seem to start enjoying herself on that Juvan second serve. She was looking more aggressive. She was stepping in that little bit more as well. And you could sense that she was really beginning to fancy her chances when those opportunities came her way. And in the end, she made full use of them as well. 2 breaks to 1 in the opening set. We've had 1 break already in the second. Juvan serving at 1-love. Ah, wonderful pass. Great vision, great awareness from Juvan as well. Just wide. Culmination of what was, I think, the longest rally of the match so far. Certainly one of the most absorbing as well, and there was a lot riding on the outcome of that one. Brace may well just be starting to think about another opportunity here to counter once again. Wonderful play, keeping that ball so low. Yeah, just long. Well, Juvan consolidates the early break with a hold of serve. Just the 2 points conceded on serve that time. She leads by 2 games to love as she looks to force her way back into this one. Mentioned earlier the win that Brace had against Claire Liu in Vancouver recently in that 125k series event. Tried to put it into some perspective by mentioning that Liu had beaten Beatriz Haddad-Meyer in San Jose at the start of August. Hadad Maya has had a wonderful year. She recently debuted in the top 20 in the Hologic WTA rankings. She was a title winner in Nottingham on grass. She then backed it up with another grass court title in Birmingham. And then recently made the final of the 1000 event in Toronto, losing to Halep in 3 sets in that final. So that's perhaps one indication of the level where Brace is. I mean, you can't surmise that Brace would have beaten Hadad Maya on any given day last month or earlier this month. And it may well be that Lou was able to take advantage of Hadad Maya because she may well have been just feeling the effects of the summer that she's had. But it does offer some perspective in many respects. She's a player that Tennis Canada have been keeping a very close eye on for some time. She's a former under-12 girls champion in Canada, although her official junior career was far from stellar. But she is a player who has slowly but surely started to tick 1 or 2 boxes. She reached her first ITF final last December. That was in Paraguay, a $15,000 tournament. That was, in fact, her most recent quarter-final appearance as well. Yeah, well played. You can just sense that she's more willing now and more confident to go for the lines. And she gets her reward with a first hold of serve in this second set. Juvan leads by 2-1. Well, she was effectively a breakdown in the early stages of the first set, so she's more than capable of clawing this situation back in her favour once again. Juvan, though, with the early break, serving as she is here at 2-1. Talking of Hadad Maya, by the way, it's worth noting that Juvan had arrived in Cincinnati, where she was beaten in qualifying by Magdalena Freck. She'd arrived in Ohio on a relative high, beating Hadad Maya at Wimbledon. Hadad Maya had been talked up as a an outside candidate for Wimbledon, given her exploits on grass in Nottingham and Birmingham, but she was beaten by Juvan in the very first round. Juvan then overcoming Dalma Galfi to make the last 32. That was her second successive appearance in the last 32 at Wimbledon. She's also made the third round at the Australian Open last year as well. So that was her joint best Grand Slam result, eventually beaten by Heather Watson. Yeah, taken really out of, I mean, she was really out of shot there, wasn't she, as she addressed that serve. Just really opening up the court so easily at times, Juvan. She did that really effectively in the early stages of the first set. Well, the cry of delight from Brace drowning out the call of outs from the line umpire, but it was long from Juvan, and Brace has break point. Ooh, she got lucky with that net cord, didn't she? It just clipped the line as it landed on the other side. Yeah, second serve, right on the line. Oh, that's wonderful play. And again, the way she does that, she takes it on the run, takes it in her stride, and then she backs it up by charging forward as well, just in case there's anything on the return or anything resembling a response from Juvan. And again, making full use of those angles, you have to say. Working those flanks so effectively, especially in the advantage court on the Juvan backhand. Second break point comes and goes, and you can just see the frustration just beginning to come up to simmering point for Brace. But the unforced errors aren't going anywhere, are they? They're certainly not being eradicated from the Juvan game. And that could be a costly one as well. Brace with a third break point to level this second set at 2 games all. Oh, that's absolutely stunning from Brace. She was almost playing that one blind. It was slightly behind her when she addressed the volley, but she got the all-important touch and it dropped like a bag of cement on the other side, and Juvan has her fingers burned once again. Brace with the break. Level once again at 2 games all, and once again Brace working so hard Again, taken out of shot by the serve out wide by Juvan. Putting in the hard yards to maintain her positioning. And the resistance was so strong once again. 2 games all, excellent play by Brace. Well, we talked at the outset of this match as this one being the biggest of her career. She may now be starting to dream about claiming the biggest win of her career. She still has a lot of work to do, but my word, she is moving in the right direction. Similarities with the opening set. She was 2 games down in that opening set, 3-1. She reeled off 3 games without reply to get herself in touch. That's long as well. Another unforced error from Juvan. They're beginning to resurface at exactly the wrong time for her. Brace serving at 40 love for a 3-2 lead. Well, again, okay, she's made the mistake, but that's a good time to do so. She has the cushion. She has this security blanket. Yeah, this is where she just needs to just recalibrate a little bit and just try and draw a line under the points that have already been played. This is where you perhaps almost need to imagine that you are serving at 40 love once again. Just ignore the scoreboard, put that to one side. And she may well have done precisely that, because that is exactly what she needed to do. Juvan just left herself with that little bit too much to do on the Brace service game. Brace comes through, 3 games without reply for the 17-year-old from Ontario, and she leads by 3 games to 2. Well, what must she be going through right now? A multitude of emotions racing through her mind, I would suspect. Excitement, A little bit of trepidation, maybe an element of fear as well. And, of course, a lot of nervous energy as well. Juvan at 2-3. A little margin for error on this service game, I would venture. Yeah, playing the percentages very nicely, isn't she? Didn't fall into the trap of employing a risky drop shot. On that occasion, it may well have crossed her mind momentarily, but just stuck to the task and just focused on what was more likely to get her the point. Oh, she just about got away with that one. She just gave Juvan a half chance to steal the point. Really should have gone cross-court there, but took a chance and just about gets the verdict. That's a wonderful return again. I mean, she was forced out wide. I think that the thing is, she's starting to anticipate these serves a lot better than she was, which is inevitable as the match progresses. But even so, to execute a return of that standard and generate the depth that she did, that is very impressive. 3 break points. Oh, it's just found the line on the second serve, would you believe it? Second serve ace from Juvan keeps herself going in this service game, but for how much longer, that's the question. And there's the answer. Not too much longer. The second serve ace was a stay of execution. Brace capitalises with the following point. The unforced error from Juvan into the net. And Brace takes another giant stride towards the round of 16 and towards what would be the biggest win of her career. Two games away. As the clock strikes 6 in Granby. Just seems to have right now a really strong awareness of everything going on around her, the court dimensions, the movements of Juvan. Almost playing 2 or 3 steps ahead at the moment as well. Just beginning to map out these points in her mind, and they are coming to fruition for her. Not so on this occasion, however. Double fault by Brace. Just a little reality check for her, which is sometimes no bad thing. Yeah, it's called good. Just a little anxious glance there from Brace. I think she may have feared the worst, but the call never came from the line umpire, and the signal from the chair was that it did just clip the line. Well, Brace has celebrated that, but it was actually a fault on the second serve. Just a little bit of a rude awakening there from Anna Carvalho as Brace was celebrating. Carvalho just had to step in and just point out that the second serve was ever so slightly long. Did she need to be so aggressive down the line on that one? I don't think so. Looked a little bit rushed and a little bit hurried, didn't it, from Brace on that occasion? And how quickly the mood can change, I suppose, for her, because Juvan steeling herself for this break point. Wide it goes out. Just long. It was a really nicely disguised drop shot by Juvan, but in the end it's Brace who gets the point. As the cry of delight will tell you from the far end of the court. Just wonder what noise she'll make if she actually wins this match, my word. But she'll have every right to celebrate in the way she wants to. Long on the forehand, the unforced errors returning. And Brace, another great illustration of her mental fortitude right now. She was a break point down in that one, but she never looked flustered, she never panicked, and she's now one away. She leads by 5 games to 2. Well, it's worth remembering perhaps that this time last year, Kaja Juvan had no tour level quarter-final to her name. But in the last 12 months, she has hit the top 60. She's competed in her maiden tour quarter-final, semi-final and final, losing to Angelique Kerber in Strasbourg. And she's established herself as one of the brightest young talents on the WTA Tour. However, it may well not be her day. Juvan serving to stay in the match, 2-5, love 15. Would be a nice symmetry about a win for Brace today as well, though. She beats the number 7 seed in qualifying as well, Karman Pandey of India, in 3 sets. She's on the verge of beating the number 7 seed in the main draw itself as well. But she may well have to wait a little while longer. It may well be that Juvan asks her to serve it out herself. Yeah, too much on the stretch, and Juvan keeps herself going for now at least. And she does ask the question. Brace at 5-3, serving for the match. She has the platform, 1 point on the scoreboard, 3 more to go. Wide from Juvan. Brace gratefully accepting any gifts that come her way right now, as she targets what would be the biggest upset of the week so far in Granby, and one of the biggest upsets on the WTA Tour this year. Backhand finds the net, and Brace has 3 match points. Take a deep breath. Well, she has plenty in hand. 2 more lifelines available. Well, Juvan clearly with other ideas. She's in no mood, it seems, for fairy tales just yet. Oh, it's just wide. It's just wide. She knows it. Juvan carried on. She wasn't sure. She didn't hear the call, but it was wide. And, oh, that's agonizing for Brace. She knows it was there for the taking, but she just panicked, I think. I think she just rushed it. 3 match points have come and gone. It was there for the taking. And it was a routine forehand that would have sealed it for her as well. But she's back on track thanks to that first serve. Match point number 4 for the 17-year-old qualifier. Oh, agonizing once again. Once more, she had opportunities, not as clear-cut as the one that presented itself a short while ago on match point, but it was nevertheless there for the taking again. Almost like time stood still there for Cadence Brace. Well, it seemed it was never going to end that rally. Brace extended to the max in that one by Juvan. And having squandered 4 match points, Brace has to brace herself for this break point for Juvan. Well, here we have this glorious situation for viewers and neutrals alike, that we have either every other point being a break point or a match point. That's the situation we find ourselves in. Yeah, a lot of tension in that shoulder on that first serve as well, clearly evident there. Just wide again. Well, what she would give to have that opportunity once more at 40-30 again, I would suspect. She would not make the same mistake again, I don't think. And we talked at the start of this match about how this would be a learning curve, part of the learning and the development process for Cadence Brace. I'm not quite sure she imagined she would have this sort of learning curve. Terrific play at the net. That's a wonderful examination that she's come through there. She's passed that one with flying colours. Terrific net play from Brace, you have to say. Certain with the volley. Composed on the overhead. Focused throughout as well. 2 break points have been saved. 4 match points have been squandered. more than happy to take those on, isn't she? That's wonderful play. Two heart-stopping moments where the ball was in the air for a long time, but she looked so sure-footed and so certain on both occasions. Match point number 5. I think she wants that ball back. While keeping faith with the ammunition. It's wide, and Brace can savour the moment. And I think she's going to let it all out very shortly as well. The biggest win of her career, making her main draw debut on the WTA Tour. Cadence Brace, a 17-year-old qualifier, the world number 646, gets the better of the number 7 seed, Kaja Juvan, on home soil. And she's done it in straight sets, 7-5, 6-3, securing the win on her 5th match point after 1 hour and 32 minutes. The biggest upset of the week so far in Granby as well. A terrific, terrific performance by a player who I'm sure we're going to hear a lot more from over the next, well, you name it, 5-10 years or so. That's a stunning win. And the biggest win of her career sets up the opportunity to face Wang Xiyu of China in round 2. Wasn't so long ago she was celebrating the first really significant win of her career. Her first top 100 win a few days ago against Claire Liu in Vancouver in the 125k series event. She's produced another moment of magic here as well. And Brace, qualifier from Ontario, through to the round of 16. We'll draw breath now and look forward to our final match of the day on court 8. Jasmine Paolini, the number 3 seed, against the lucky loser from Japan, Himeno Sakatsume.